Okay, so I think I told you already, but I have to implement arrays, and yeah, it's this again. Seems we did this a lot more times. Basically, arrays have to work in function arguments as global variables, as local variables, and you also should be able to assign values to stuff in the array and obviously use it in expressions. So right now I got some of that working, which is actually just optimized this a bit, and I have no idea if it still works now. So just made well, basically this is what works so far. I can make a local array, and since I can't actually write to it yet, here I have to cast it to a pointer. Here I'm setting the thing at index 28 to 5, and also setting a to the value at 28. I had a in the return before, but it doesn't really matter. Then I'm returning the thing at index 28, and so if it works, it should return 5, since I set it to 5. So make. Okay, should probably remove the unused variable, because I think I'd actually fail the assignment if I have any compiler warnings in there. I don't know why, but to be like that. Nice. Okay, let's compile it again. Please work. Yeah, you can see it's exit code 5. So, is there a way I can just show the changed lines? Is that a thing? Okay, not that. Show history? No. Can I just show the diff? There's no diff here. Compare. Is that what I want? No. Okay, that looks like it could be right. Can I go to the next change? Yeah. So basically I had to modify the grammar a lot. Have it up already. Since gotta be able to use arrays in a bunch of contexts. So here, if it's a global array declaration, it falls into that rule. If it's in a statement, it's right here. And oh, I think that okay, that's if it's on the left side, and if it's on the right side, then that falls under this thing. And selector is just at least one of those, since eventually it should also work with n-dimensional arrays, not just one-dimensional arrays. I'm not even sure if I procedure. Okay, that falls on the variable, and on the variable I did add the actually that should be that. Okay. So what I had to do so far is make a function that compiles the selector thing. So if it's a small number, I just have to, like when it enters this function, then in the current, wait, why? I don't think it should say previous temporary. Why does it? Yeah, I think pretty sure I fucked that up just now. So basically, when it enters this function, then in the current temporary register, it has the base address of the array, and then it just reads the input until it gets to the integer, that's the index, and then the offset is just 8 times the index, since all data types here are 8 bytes. It's just uint64t and a pointer of that. Then if it's a big number, I have to do some magic. This is defined already. It just encodes the integer into 2 instructions, since the way it works, you can't have a 64-bit number as an immediate value, since it's not how it works. Actually, I think this is just okay, so I think if it's up to 31 bits, then it's encoded in 2 instructions, and otherwise it's encoded in the data segment. I think that's how it works. Okay. Anyway, so it's a big number. I gotta load it using that thing, and then it becomes the current temporary register. So the previous one is the address of the array. So I'm gonna just add number to the address. I can free the temporary register, and then I resolve the reference. So just turn the address into the actual value at that address. But I don't think this makes sense, does it? That should be current temporary. Why would it be previous? Since current is the address, and I have to add the offset to the address. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. And I don't really know if my current thing works either, since, I mean, it does run, but I can't really know if it accesses any memory it's not supposed to. But yeah, it might be fine for now. So what I also had to do is in the procedure prologue, it has to where it allocates a space on the stack. Obviously, it has to take arrays into account, and the where is it? Okay, it's basically the old code. Just added, for every variable it added 8 bytes. Obviously, it's not going to work if you have a big array. So they do kind of a weird thing, since the way this code is structured, like it just loops as long as there are variable declarations, and before even parsing the declaration, it adds 8 bytes to the number of bytes it has to allocate. Then it compiles the variable to add it to the symbol table, and then it just does that until there are no more declarations. So, and I can't really add the size of the array here, because here the declaration isn't even parsed yet, so I don't know how big the array is. So I I had to do kind of a weird thing where this function just parses the dimensions of the array. Right now it's just one-dimensional, but so in this case just the size. Then it returns the amount of bytes that need to be allocated. So if it's not in the array, it's 8, and if it is in the array, it's just but right now dimensions is just a number. If I had more dimensions, I'd have to do more shit, but basically just the size of the array times 8. Actually, let's make that register size. And then to the amount of allocated variable bytes, it adds the result of that the function returned -8. So that's kind of a weird hacky thing I had to do. I couldn't really change how this function works since it's also used in other places. Like for the procedure arguments. Anyway, I think now would be a good time to actually implement this, since I want to be able to have global arrays. So I think what I want to do is sim assign. Okay. Okay, it's not where I want to go. Right here where it checks for this assignment thing. That I think that's where I should check for the bracket. Where the fuck? Okay, identifier and where is this part? I'm confused. Oh, that looks good. Global variable. Okay. Where exactly does it handle this case? I'm confused. Don't think it's this. Oh, right here. Okay. So here I want to actually, how does initial value work? Probably good to know, since we'll have to some value there. I think if I just do symbol sim assign and do this, else if symbol equals L bracket just else syntax error unexpected. Okay. So here's the fun part where I get to parse the amount of bytes needed again, and actually, since I do need the exact same code in like right here, I think I should just make actually, what does this code even do? Oh yeah, I have to since the size of the array changes where it starts, since the lowest value is at the lowest address. So that has to change. That's what this line is for. Anyway, I think I should make a function that just takes the array size declaration and returns how many bytes that takes. So might as well make a function, a non-terminal for that. So it would be actually, can I do that? Since where else do I have it? In the procedure thing? What does this even mean? Okay. Let's call it size selector. So it would just be do I want this to be what do I want this to be? No, actually, I don't think I want it to be a non-terminal, since all of those have functions with the same name. That actually, do I want that? I think those actually all have functions that generate code, but this wouldn't generate any code, so I'm unsure. So the problem is right here I defined it as being at least 1, since I didn't want to put in the same rule as right here. But actually, I think I could just if I take this thing and define it like that. Does that work? So I either have okay, I think I can then remove the optional thing here, since it would fall under this rule. So I think this should mean the same thing. So I have a type identifier and then either a selector, which could also be not there at all. And then instead I could have this thing. I think that works. Did I actually close this? Okay. Yeah, I think that should work. So size selector, sure. Literally the same thing. So right here I put a call to that function, sure. Just gonna copy this code. So that's basically what I have to do, even though I can't really just use it like that. So then this would just return the size. Like it doesn't really make sense to call this compile, since it doesn't actually generate any code, but all non-terminals here have a corresponding function that's just compile underscore then the thing. So I think it should be fine. Okay, definitely don't need offset here. Yeah, I want that. I think I should be good if I just put this right here and So if it's right bracket, then get symbol and return. Like this is supposed to actually be, like when it's a multi-dimensional array, I have to do some math to calculate that, but for now it's just the literal right there. So then I can just do else fuck. Okay. I think it's proper error handling now. So in compile variable, actually this doesn't generate any code either, so it's fine. I'll just do so here I think I can just take out the error handling code since I have that in the function now, and I just do do I need a get symbol there? Who knows? We'll see if it fucking dies. So I'm gonna do equals compile size selector. Okay. I think I should be good. Who knows if I need this? I don't. Actually, I might. No, I have no idea. I'll just remove it. Okay, so in theory, the code that I showed before should still work. Oh. Okay, I think that's just because I changed the... Actually, what did I change in the function? Oh yeah, okay, that makes sense, sure. Looks like it didn't die, so that's a good thing. And just to verify, if I go right here and actually do get symbol, then it should die. Yeah, that dies. Good thing. This works. Nice. Okay, so back to compile C star. Basically, actually, where where does it allocate space for global variables? I think that would be a good thing to know. Probably right here. Yeah, that's a good guess, I think. Hopefully it works. So this will definitely have to change. I actually think this is easier to do than the local variables, since the local ones for some reason the declaration isn't actually parsed before creating the thing in the symbol table, but right here it is. I have no idea why. Let's actually check that again. Oh, am I at the right place? Yeah, this is it right here. Gear it as it compiles, like the function compile variable actually adds it to the symbol table, but this function wants to know how many, like where to put it already, which means it has, like when I call the function, I have to know where it's gonna go, but when I call the function, I didn't even parse the selector yet, so I have no idea how big it's going to be, and that's a problem. So, but it looks like in compile C star, first I look at the actual declaration, and then once I'm done, I add all of them to the, like just current one to the symbol table, so it should make it easier. Anyway, so where does it get the name? Since I'll have to start that into a, like, okay, it isn't a variable already, so I have an array. I should have the name of the array already, and then I just need to parse the, like a compile size selector, and I have to put the result of that in a variable. Actually, I'm not sure if it's, yeah, I think I should do that symbol right there. I'm not entirely sure if I should do it in the function or outside of the function. Let's look at some random functions and see what they do. What do they return? Okay, looks like it does do that. So, let's make variable size in dwords. So here I allocate the register size times the, or actually, should I call it dwords? Since it's technically a multiple of the register size. Size. So I hate how it's just indented with two space. It makes it hard to actually tell where things are, how they work. So I think right here I should set the size to 1. Or actually in compile size selector, do I multiply by 8 or not? I think that would be a good thing to know. Okay, I don't. Size equals 8 times, oh, not 8 times, just that. Okay. Is that actually all I have to do? That doesn't seem right. That would be too easy. Okay, I do have to add the dimensions as well. But it's oh, I shouldn't do that. Oh, no idea what I just changed. Size in dwords and the reason actually, why did I call it instead of dimension? I think it's because in the symbol table there isn't enough space, but I think I should just make it wider probably. I can change it later. I think it's more important to actually get it working. So also in the symbol table, the only thing I'm actually doing to differentiate between arrays and regular variables is that arrays have a dimensions value of not 0. And actually, there's slides for Selfie, and on the slides there's a suggestion to use a linked list, since an array can have n dimensions. So then later for the second part we have to make it support n dimensions. This dimensions thing would actually be a linked list instead, but right now it's just one value, and that's fine. So what I have to do now is set that. Or actually, I'll have to come up with something to, like, I think in compile size selector, I would have to do some, like, I would have to allocate stuff for the linked list there and then return the point to the start of the linked list. Then I'd have to calculate the actual size. Yeah, it's definitely going to take some work to do that for multi-dimensional arrays. Anyway, if I just put the dimensions thing here, then I should be fine. Let's see if it compiles. Oh, that's not fine. Initial value. I have no idea how the initial value thing is supposed to work if I don't have one value but an entire array. I have no idea what it's going to do there. Let's just set it to 0 and see what happens. Okay. Still, let me check the original function. Maybe it actually is supposed to quit there. Like when it does syntax error unexpected, it doesn't actually quit. It keeps going. Also, I know you can't see it. I'm sorry. Okay, so in the original code, there's a semicolon, it sets it to 0, okay. And else, it's the thing that I replaced with. Oh yeah, there wasn't a syntax error thing here before. I actually added that, so I'll just exit parse, sorry, error, okay. Nice. Now, actually what I want to try before I do the global thing, can I, like, am I retarded and did I write the code so that I can actually do an array access thing on something that's not an array, because that would be bad. I can't type. Okay. I don't like how it actually compiles, does it? Yes, it does. That's not a good thing, I think. So probably put syntax error unexpected somewhere in, I think that would be compile factor. Maybe it's not my code at all, I don't know. This is the code I added. It would be good to know where the call is actually coming from, and I can actually find it out if I, what did I call this? It's still the same file. If I set a breakpoint at syntax error unexpected, just go, Oh, that's a breakpoint I had before when I was figuring out how to make things work. This isn't my code. Did I change anything in compile statement? No, but I have to. What did I even put in this file? Oh yeah, yeah, that's not my fault then, since I didn't even touch anything of that yet. Okay, time for the fun part where everything breaks. Let's call it D and make it 64. Please don't crash and burn. Unexpected symbol semicolon found. I guess that means that I either do one compile or one select get symbol too little or too many. Let's see. I mean, this should work, right? Since the current symbol is the right bracket, and then does it one more time and it gets to the semicolon. So I guess I should check in compile C star. Where does it check for actually where's the part that I wrote? Right here, okay. I think I just have to do get symbol. Okay, if symbol not equals semicolon, then syntax error symbol semicolon and exit parser error. Okay. Please work. Or actually, it can't work yet, right? Oh, with the allocated memory thing, actually it should work. Okay, let's see. I mean, I thought I just fixed that. Oh, I didn't do get symbol afterwards. That explains it. Also, are you actually still watching and listening, or just talking to myself? Would be nice to know. Okay, that's not horribly broken just yet. Can actually look at the assembly, and that should have a bunch of stuff in the data section, if I'm lucky. Yes, that's an array right there. Beautiful. So if I now replace B with D, so replace the local array with the global one, it should work, please. That looks good to me. Yep, looks good. Can't complain. Making great progress. But actually, what I do want to try is what happens if I do this. Okay, so it does try to dereference the thing, which is obviously not going to work. But I don't think there's any tests for this. So I should, and actually I might actually be at the point where it's passing one test. Python. Oh. Huh. Oh, yeah, I'm dumb. Like, I think one of those should work at least. Yeah, error declaration. Do compile. That's a missing S right there. But it do compile. Oh, invalid assignment should not compile. Okay. Yeah, and I didn't implement assignment yet. But actually that might not be too hard. You know what, I think it might be a good idea to change compile selector, since right now it wait, does it? Wait, why is this even working? I don't think it should work, since I'm not emitting the actual thing that makes it load the value. What? Huh? Okay, so is this supposed to be the other way around? Yeah. That is supposed to be the other way around. So I will have to fix that code. So if it's a small number, then I have to just add the thing, and actually I can put the emit thing right here. Then this is what it has to do right here. Please work. Oh, doesn't work. is that still valid code? Yeah, it's not. Okay. Does this work? Yes, very nice. Did I actually recompile Selfie? Yeah, I did. So what I'm thinking right now is that I should make compile selector just like I don't think I should do the dereferencing here, and instead I should do that outside so that I can use the same code for L values and R values, since when it's on the left side I don't actually want to get the element that's right there, I just want to calculate the address. So I think if I just remove the emit LD here, then everything should be fine. So then I have to add it where, right here. Oh, actually that's a terrible idea, because I call compile selector even when there isn't any selector. So like obviously I can just put a simple check right here that checks if there's a selector there, but then this thing actually isn't correct anymore, since it means that it can be 0 or more. And so where did I use selector? So then this wouldn't be correct anymore either, and it would just be terrible all around. So how do I solve this? Like I could make compile selector the return like a true false thing if it did something or not. I think it might be a good idea. So just make this return 1, return 0, change signature, Win64T. Oh, interesting. It actually expanded the macro, I think, since in CMake list I had to add this thing, which is also in the regular make file. Since normally you need to include a header for Win64T to be a thing, but Selfie doesn't have headers. So for bootstrapping to work, it can't really do that. Okay, it did not die. Very nice. Actually, compile select will have to take the symbol table entry of the array later, since when you have a multidimensional array. To calculate the address, you actually need to, know the dimensions. For one-dimensional array, you don't have to care at all. Okay, so this thing should work. Since I used this branch before, now it's using this one for small things. And I think that means it's time to actually implement it on L values. So as of right now, this function just, so when the address of the array is in the current temporary register, then you call this function, then the new thing in that register will be the address of the actual element you're trying to access. So for, I think that means I can just do this. I hope so, at least. Otherwise I'm gonna cry live on stream. Okay, good. Oh, that's the wrong key. Okay, so how does it do assignment? That's the real question here. Why does it need a separate branch for dereferencing? Does that make sense? Identifier. Where exactly is this call coming from? Since there isn't a call right here. Did I fuck it up? Let's check the actual selfie file. Some compiled statement. There is no call thing right there. Just check the code. Why? Like, not the code, but the original markdown file. Like, why does this, or is it like this entire thing, or, oh, fuck it up, this entire thing or call, which would be this thing or this thing. So it's split up in a really weird way. Okay, so this is the thing on the left side. It gets the address of the thing, and depending on how big the actually, okay, so wait, I'm dumb. Wait, am I dumb? I probably am. Do I ever actually need to have the thing calculate the array address at the runtime? Click on, oh, that's bad. Click on how to use compile selector. Okay, I dereference the thing. But like, so when I compile selector, how does the I think I could make the function actually return the value instead of emitting code to calculate it at runtime. And so then start function to just load something from an address. Doesn't look like it. So would basically just have to I think then I'd have to take that code again. Just I'm getting confused. Not a good thing. Yeah, I just have to rip out this code and put it into a new function. So I don't think I ever actually need to load the base address. Right. Yeah, things get slightly more complicated when I actually have to support passing an array as a local, like as an argument. So then I'd have to implement separate code. Like basically I need the current code when the thing is a variable, since it's actually a pointer, not an array, but that doesn't matter. And if it's just a static array, then I don't need any special code like this, but it works. It's less efficient, but it works. And then it's less work to implement. Okay. So, right here. I'm still not entirely sure why this is a... oh, okay, this is... the thing I'm confused about is why does dereference identifier equals need a completely separate branch from just identifier equals, since the difference is just that you have to dereference the thing once. Seems like it could be combined to me. So here it just loads the value of the variable, which is the address thing, okay. And on this branch, what does it do here? So it sets the... okay, so it, on the dereference branch, it doesn't actually load the value and then dereference it, but instead it just does so I think here okay, I'm just getting confused now, I think. So here it loads the value, the address, and then what does it do with it? It sets the thing to result. Okay, and what happens right here? Yeah, I mean, it still seems like basically the same code to me, but let's see, I gotta figure this out now. So the problem I have is that this offset thing it's not a thing in a register. So I can't really use my existing function that works putting the thing in a register, the result of calculating the selector. So I think I should use the load int, or like should make the function just return the value and actually I think the real question is, or do you load integer? Does it not do add? Yeah. That this is getting kind of complicated. Or I'm just dumb, who knows. But I do think I should simplify the code, otherwise I'm gonna get fucked. So I will make this okay, it's fine. So this function should just use load int, no, this function should just return offset so I should just remove this and turn offset right here in the place where I call compile selector. Check if it's not equals to -1, and if so I load, no wait, so in current temporary, wait, actually I need to put that into a variable. Okay, just my cursor just disappeared. That's great. Okay, so offset equals compile selector. If offset not equals to -1, then I will do load integer. Then I have the integer register. So in previous temporaries where the value should go, and current temporaries where the integer is, and then I can free the register that I allocated when I did load integer. Please work. I'm gonna cry. Also, I don't think this should happen. Does it do comparison to -1 anywhere else? Probably not. Maybe it works if I just cast. Exit code 0. That's bad. because it should really be doing exit code 5. Did I maybe just confuse those two? Probably not. Oh, wrong command. Oh, very wrong. Yeah, that's not what should be happening. Oh, yeah, why? Okay, that makes sense, since it should be like I have to. I don't actually remember what code I had here before, but so I'm loading the base address, and actually might as well make that to return the type. Also, you should probably return an error if it dies, instead of just letting you use an array that doesn't even exist. Yeah, I don't like how that happens. Where is the declaration? Did I not declare it? Oh, that's terrible. Is entry array. And what did I call this one? Was like load array base address. Okay. So hopefully I can get this working again. So the problem is that I'm just loading from the offset instead of the actual address plus the offset. So I should be doing an add here. I mean, actually, I don't think I need that. Since, let's Like, I think what I could be doing here instead is, or wait, it could be a local variable, or like as a function argument, but then what? What would that mean? Actually, I have no idea. Anyway, like I think just that it actually works with pointers as well. I should probably actually load the array address into a register, since from that point on I can just basically treat them as the same thing. I guess, but that would also mean that I have to do, like, if type equals so then that would basically be a dereference thing, and if the type is a regular so if it's not an array, then I have to actually change the type. So oh yeah, that's not what I'm supposed to. So then this would actually be a it's not a syntax error, is it? Like, I guess it would be one of these. And then exit parse. Okay. So what I have to do is add the thing, and then 3 thing, and then dereference the thing. Please work. Not very confident. Yeah, that's broken. Terrible. Wait, okay, I think a good question would be, should the current code even work? Yes, that code should definitely work. So how did I end up breaking it? I don't actually know. Wait, I think I should execute it with the debugger, since that's the thing. Show me which instruction it crashes on. Okay, so Lex is a slightly nicer index of 3. Then it would be 24. Okay, so it loads 24, adds to T1. Then it adds 6 to T0. Okay. Yeah, it makes sense. And accidentally an add immediate instead of the regular add there. That's what happens when you use a language that doesn't really have any types. Oh yeah, I gotta recompile the compiler, because that's fun. Now it's still got exit code 0, which is not a good thing. Oh, maybe it is, because I changed these indices. Please work. Okay, I'm at exit code 5 again. Which is the thing I assigned there. And actually, now I should not be able to do this. Please. Nice. Oh. Yeah, that's the wrong error message. It should be just syntax error unexpected. Okay. So now I can get back to actually implementing the thing in compile statement. So I need to do it separately. Actually, can I? Wait, an expression. What's an expression even? Okay. Okay, so I don't actually have to do anything here since expression already has the thing. So what I have to do is right here, Actually, what about this thing? Yeah, I'll have to do it for this thing as well. Is there a compile identifier thing? No, there is not. Interesting. So right now I'm just wondering. Okay, no, I can't change the definition of identifier. Okay, time to actually implement the thing. Where's the equals? Okay, equals. Nice. Where does it? Okay, symbol sign right here. So this is what I need to fuck with. So the offset thing is going to be calculated at runtime if it's an array. Like if there is a selector, because I don't want to implement those separately for pointers and arrays. So and I have to do the pointers. I have to fuck with the type stuff here as well. But I think all I have, like really all I have to do here is if is entry array. No, actually, okay, so let's make a element offset. Then right here, do element offset equals compile selector. If element offset not equal to -1, and we do offset plus element offset. Is that how it works? I don't know. Let's find out. Also, I really wonder if self actually still self-compiles. I honestly don't think so. Huh. Nice surprise. Does it run? It does run. Nice. Okay. Time for the big test. Let's set A, or that's supposed to be T. Let's set T at 28 to 69. Oh no. Exit code 5. Wait, do we need to do times 8? No, it should already be done. So what is going on here? I add the offset of the element, I think. Yes. Oh, that's wrong breakpoint. Okay, turns out they don't actually do that. Interesting. So let's make this a bit more simple. Take out those assignments. Just leave this one. Then set a breakpoint right here. So what's going on here? Am I in the right function? No, I'm not. Should probably actually be in the right function. But where am I even supposed to be? I'm getting very confused. Compile statement, right? Yeah. Oh, that actually makes sense. Since checks for the equals thing here. Okay, so I actually need to put this line a bit earlier. So here. No. Oh, yeah, okay. Makes sense, makes sense. Can I just put it right here? Could even set a breakpoint anywhere. I don't know. Oh, that's a 69 right there. That's 69. Okay, so should this code be here? But I mean, should this code be here? Probably not. Let's look at this. Why? guess this was on the call. Yeah. Okay, so should still be good, right? $69. Actually, what about thing equals cost to pointer D? Yeah, D. And then thing 28 equals 39. Should that work? I don't think so. Okay, doesn't. In line 14. Okay, I didn't implement it for the left side yet. Like if it's a pointer on the left side, but I think pointers on the right side should work. So we just do D28 equals Win28. Okay, I don't think that's the best example since I don't actually know if it does anything. How about this? Oh, that's working. Okay, so what other option is there even? So here it loads the value and compiles the thing on the right side. Okay, that has to be a Uint64T. Actually, wait. Okay, yeah, makes sense. Sure. So now we'd have to identifier. It's the thing right here, yeah. So then after where is, okay, identifies a global thing, right? So then before doing get symbol for assign, actually I'm not entirely sure if I like where I should put my get symbol calls, like if those should generally be inside the functions I'm calling or not. But element offset, let's compile selector. Wait, is that, what am I even trying to do? I forgot. No, really, I forgot. What the fuck am I trying to do? I have no idea. Because I want to be able to use a pointer on the left side. I think that's what I was trying to do. So thing 27 equals 12. Yeah, that does not work because of type mismatch right here. Okay. So I don't need this for anything. Unless I want to like dereference a thing in an array of uint64t pointers. But I think that's actually handled already. Yeah. Okay. So where's the type warning coming from? Right here. Okay. Shouldn't it work though? Like if I, okay, so here it gets the address of the entry, but have to make it work so that if it's a pointer instead, then I have to get the actual value of the how is that even done? Because it would be this thing right here, load variable or big int. So what I have to do is check if, okay, so if I'm in here, then can be I guess I would have to add a check here that it's okay if the thing on the left is a pointer and the thing on the right is a regular thing and there's a selector. So okay, at this point I do have the variables I need already. So if I do have a bitwise and actually, could I use that? It's not a logical AND, but I'm just working with 0 and 1, it's the same thing, right? So if what do I want to check for? If L type equals like if this does not feel like a good idea, but I think it's the only option I have. L type equals UN64 star T and R type equals UN64 T and element offset okay. Oh no. Parentheses, okay. Oh no. Okay. I think there shouldn't be a type warning now. Well, if not, L type equals 64 star T and I mean L type equals this thing, right? 1. And R type equals CM64T, also 1. And element offset not equals minus 1 is 1. So what exactly does this entire thing evaluate to? Why does it not like that? Okay, this still works. Right, that's a bitwise not. Yeah, I think I should do that's equal to 0. That might work better. Oh no. It's not what I did. Alright, the entire thing just go in those. No type warning. Okay. And if I do this, then there should be a type warning. Oh. Okay, it doesn't let me like, makes sense that this would cause an error, but I'm not sure exactly why. It reads past this and then doesn't like the semicolon. Do I have L type here? No. Do I have type? Yes. I mean, I do have to check. Right here. Why does that not work? Type gun 64T, and if dimensions entry is 0, this should both be true right here. Okay. Oh. Okay. It's not exactly the right error, but my check is working, so where was I? I think it was right here. Okay, so that's the one thing we're gonna allow. Why is the indentation fucked? Why is it fucked? Huh? What's going on? Is this fucked? No. Is it getting confused by this? That's a bug, right? Like this is valid, right? It would mean that the entire thing is like the if thing would be over here. But it thinks it's not over, it thinks it still has one to go. I think that's a bug. Do correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, like what the fuck is going on here? Okay, so I want to load the pointer, which is the left thing. Then I definitely need different code for that. Since then the offset isn't static anymore. So I basically need the same code as used here. But I have to add the offset there. Okay. So compile expression. Okay. Also, am I not leaking any registers here? Because that would be a bad thing. So I'm doing compile expression here, but then it's just, I guess the second thing, well, I need 2 T3s here because of this, I think. Okay. Where am I? I'm lost. Okay. So I suppose right here I could do a check if L type is equal to uint64t. If element offset is not -1, then I can, would it be a, I don't think I can do a syntax error here. I guess it would be a type error. Type. I'll just it's not going to be the right error message, but as long as it crashes, it should be fine. Or actually, if so if the thing on the left is not an array, I'm trying to access it like one. Okay. So now, if the thing on the left is a pointer, it's basically need to be careful that I don't write code that doesn't work as it should, since like here only if the thing on the left is a pointer and I try to access it with a selector, then it should generate the code for that. But if it's just a regular pointer, then it still needs to have the same code as right here. So I think what I need to do here is if L type equals un64 star t, and if element offset is not -1, then I do the thing I just talked about, and else I do this bullshit. Then I need to be really careful to actually free the registers properly, because otherwise I'm gonna get fucked. So I think I'm just gonna need to free 2. So I actually not really sure yet. Let's just copy paste code. So from down there I already know it's an assignment. Let's see what I need to change for this to work. Okay. So parent temporary is going to be the thing on the right. I actually need to modify previous temporary first for it to actually point to the element. So I'm gonna do Where was the thing? I need load variable or big int for the left thing. Actually, the left isn't left thing. Oh, okay. So what's even going to happen if it's called get type on? Right, is the same thing as up? Okay, it is the same thing as up here. So I have the left thing compiled already. And then I just need to do load. Wait, load integer. What's that even? Yeah, I think that's right. Element offset. Load that. And then I emit add. Okay, so previous is the pointer. And I add together the previous temporary and the current temporary. And then I free the register I just used for the integer. Oh no. Oh no. What the fuck is going on? 4, 7, 8, 7. Ah. Oh. Where's my cursor? Uh, 4, 7, 8, 7. Okay. So this could work. It's not going to work, but in theory, this is a thing that could be working now. Yeah, that's not working. Unexpected symbol integer found. Line 15. I'm going to assume that it's talking about the... Actually, what is that talking about? Anything on the left or anything on the right? Okay, just to make sure. This should still be working. Lines, okay, there's line 16 broken. Okay, that's the same thing. All right. So, unexpected symbol. Just gonna set a breakpoint here. Go up. Okay. L type unit 64 key. Oh, I didn't actually make it a pointer again. Line 13, okay, that doesn't matter. Line 15, unexpected symbol, semicolon. Compile factor, what? 15. Did I break that, or? So it only breaks if I do this. So I guess the bug would be in compile statement. Okay, let's look at what the thing does. Okay, does load variable breakend. I have that. Get symbol. Get symbol again. Compile expression. Oh, yeah, I do have the archetype here already. So it makes sense for it to die, I think. Oh. Illegal register access. I haven't seen that one before. Illegal register access. I'm trying to free something that doesn't exist, okay? How about to change this to 1? Did I actually need to free anything here? Probably. Exit code 0. I do not want exit code 0. What if I remove this? It's going to break things. Yes, that does break things. Oh, actually, I have a problem here. Wait, can I? I kind of need to go back to registers, but that's not a thing you're allowed to do since the way the code is structured here. But could I just move this part upwards? Like if I'm not sure. Okay, let's use them anyway. Why is it still exit code 0? I don't think that's going to change anything. Yeah. I don't actually have the left thing loaded, do I? So I guess I need to. I don't. Do I have load variable or big int here? I've got not load. Okay. Makes sense. So just gonna put this right here. Okay, I need to think this through. So assuming this works and it loads the pointer, I load the integer. So that's previous. Okay, so previous is pointer. Previous becomes current. If I do that, then I need to compile the thing on the right again. I'm confused. So basically I need to... Wait, actually that should work right. Okay, so the right is the first thing, then the left thing goes on top, then the integer. The integer is gone, and the right thing is current. And the left thing is previous. Sure. Make uncaught invalid address. Why? Okay, let's do some funking. Is identifier... Oh, that's dangerous. Okay, still doesn't work. Okay, so let's check if this code even gets executed. It does. Okay, so I load the value of the pointer. Then I load the offset, add the offset to the pointer, free the offset thing, then I load... Wait, actually, let's check the... Maybe those need to be swapped. No one knows. I mean, it doesn't crash, but it doesn't work. Let's check what does SD do. Memory add register on write is the thing that gets assigned to. So okay, I do need previous temporary here, but that doesn't really explain why it's not working. Let's check the debugger. Okay, so 12, that's 12 and 27, those are the values that I need to look out for. It's 12 gets loaded to T3. That does not look like an actual address. Okay, so 224, that's probably the offset. Oh, why is T3 0? I assume that's previous temporary right here. But load variable or big int. Okay, I'm trying to load the thing. What happens? Does look like an actual number. So it loads the offset of thing. I assume that's this thing. So T3 becomes this fucking thing. And this fucking thing. That looks right, okay. T3 gets set to this, okay, I agree. And then, whoa, what? Why does it dereference the address T3? Why the fuck is that happening? I mean, where's my add? Okay, that's my add. The T4 is wait, I need to think this through. So T3 should become the pointer to the array. Okay, it doesn't. Maybe we should make it a bit simpler so you actually know what's what. Okay. What's S0 even? Is that a stack pointer? Yeah, that's the frame pointer. Yeah, that's the thing. It's the right thing. So then T2 becomes 0 because why? I mean, that's supposed to become a pointer to the array, right? Okay, so it is actually a pointer, but okay, so I think this is where the address of the array element, like the what is that actual line it corresponds to? That's handy as fuck. Okay, I need line 16. I didn't even notice that before. It's really handy. Okay. That's the thing I want to assign. Okay. Then hello. Starting to think that this should actually be a reload. What am I trying to do? I want to assign to, it's basically the same thing as star identifier equals. So let's see what happens here. That is what it does. It does load variable or big int. Then does an SD. So I do load variable or big int. That shouldn't that be the I assume this is where the load comes from. Like I don't want to load what's at the pointer. that what it does? Let's look at this again. It seems pretty clear to me right here. It just calls this. Yeah, I do want to load the value of the variable, and it should point to the start of the array. But it doesn't seem like it does. Okay, so let's make line 17 like if it worked, those two things should produce exactly the same code. Let's look at what happens in line 17 compared to line 16. Okay, I think the order is different because of how the code works, but it should be fine. So basically I need to load this thing. Do I do that? Yes, I do. It goes into... Actually, do I have a register leak there? This should be free. I think I do. True. Okay, that's better. So I load this thing into the register, okay? And okay, that's pointer arithmetic. So basically I end up adding 27 times 8 to T1. And then I do this. Yeah, that makes sense. What happens here? D8. I'm literally not seeing a difference in what it does. Like here the end result is that D8 gets set to 12. And here the end result is that D8 gets set to 12. So why would it not work? Yeah, it does work. Nice. Okay, so I always mess this up. I'm not sure at what point it just started working, but it does, so that's good. You failed a mandatory test. Okay, it doesn't want to compile itself anymore. That's terrible. It's out of registers. Okay, that's like the worst possible thing. Yeah, that's terrible. I assume it's something about this function that caused it to fuck up. Let's see if it ever enters this one compiling itself. I don't think it should. Oh, wrong button. Yeah, it doesn't. Line 443. Is that a... Oh, why am I trying to search for line? Is that a real thing, or... Huh. Did I fuck with that? I don't think I did. They should still execute the same code. I didn't change this. You can tell because it's the same color. So my current guess is that on the thing on the left, let me see if it works. If I just remove this. Oh, I should probably move the else as well. Or not. Huh. Okay. So I think if the yeah, okay, I see what's going on. goes right here, and then it gets fucked up. But I'm actually not sure. Okay, so things like this, I guess. That's where it leaks registers, because it doesn't execute code it's supposed to execute. So this might be fine. It's not. Oh, it's supposed to be -1. Oh. It's basically, okay, I need some help with control flow, if you're listening. So I wanted to, if the L type is a pointer and as a selector thing, so the offset is a thing that exists, then it should execute this code. And in all other cases, it should execute this code. How do I do that? I'm dumb. I guess I could. Is that a thing I can do? Hello? I'm not allowed to execute this code. Okay. Does this work? Yes, it does. I need an else here. Okay, let's see what the grader says. Ooh, getting somewhere. An invalid assignment. What's that? I also think I want this to not compile if I do something like a5 equals 10. This should not compile. Okay, very good. I have no idea where this is actually happening. Since yeah, where is that happening? Probably right here. Okay, invalid assignment. This should fail. So if L type equals, or if is array L type. Is that a thing I can do? Do I have the no idea what entry actually is, but sure. That's 0. Actually, is there a unary not? I don't think there is. Okay. Like I don't know what you call it. If element offset not -1, then I need to fucking die. Fucking kill myself. Parse. Okay. Make. Oh no. Oh, that's wrong thing. Invalid assignments to an array. They still compile. Why is that? Oh, I want it to be if it is an array and if there is no offset, then that's illegal. Okay. Ooh, I'm getting real close. Okay, so now I just need to work in functions. And then I'm done, right? I really need to pee though, so I'm gonna be right back. Okay, I have returned, and I'm probably actually going to be able to finish this in not much time, hopefully. So basically, in compile procedure, when so when it sees a thing that's an array declaration, then it should make that a pointer instead. That's it. So it does compile a variable, which is where it's an array. Dims will be set to a thing that's not 0. So basically what I want to do here is when it goes for those again, just if get dims entry mod is greater than 0, and if might as well check for the type as well, since that needs to be uint64t. Since I don't think double pointers are a thing in this. Then I do set dims zero, and I set the type the entry to uint64 star t. And if this isn't the case, then type warning expected uint64t. I actually got uint64 star t. Then we'll set I just fucking die. Okay. Fuck me, it actually works. Holy shit, that took forever. Like, including the time that I wasn't streaming, which was like, let's say, right about 2 hours. Or slightly less, so basically 5 hours total. Fuck me. Fuck my ass, that took forever. Also, I'm thinking that maybe we should put in the effort to optimize the case where I have actually did I even implement this? What's gonna happen? Oh, I thought it was the compile thing. Okay, I did not implement this. So I can't do this on the right side. But could I add that? Actually, line 19 is where it dies. Yeah, that's where I'm at. So it would be compile factor. Actually, why does that not work? Just get rid of all this garbage. A equals, like, thing equals 164t pointer cost b. Actually, I don't even know why this cost thing works at all, because I don't think I implemented that. It's fine. A equals thing 5. I mean, it does work. Yeah, I'm not really sure why it didn't work when I just tried it. Bit to go. Anyway, I could do an optimization here where actually I don't even think it would be hard to do. If I just this code right here and like I'm not how would I even get in here? Like if it's on the right side, that's a pointer, then yeah, it should be fine. And so here I can do optimization. Because it definitely know the address, right? Right. What if? No, I don't think I know the address if. If this is an argument. If it's an argument, then it's not actually an array. Then it would be a pointer. So if I know that it's an array, then it has a hard-coded address. And so I don't have to change this code as well. I guess I wouldn't actually need to use that code ever. Instead, I would just should make a backup of this code so I don't fuck everything up.